Okay, welcome to the Dublin Academy of Maths, and today we're going to do some revision rules, okay? Calculus, Leaving Cert Ordinary Level Maths, Series 3, Episode 5, and it's Paper 1, and it's Calculus, right? Now, this is by first principles, and the question would go something like this, would go like, differentiate by first principles. Differentiate by first principles. Y is equal to 5 minus 3x. Okay, now the rule is, also you know that f of x is the same as y. Okay, now everywhere you see x, you put in x plus h. So you follow this rule f of x plus h, so every time you see x, so dy dx is equal to 5 minus 3 times x plus h minus f of x. Okay, I'm going to move this over a wee bit. Minus f of x. So it's minus 5 minus 3x all over h. Okay, multiply them out. So you've got 5 minus 3x minus 3h minus everything inside that bracket. Minus by minus is a plus. All over h, right? So now we go and cancel them. Minus 3x plus 3x minus 5 plus 5. H cancels into the h once. Okay, remember that. This doesn't cancel with the 3. And you're left with minus 3. And there's no other h's there. Okay, minus 3. Okay, and that is, when you see it by rule, you see that it is minus 3. Okay. So that was 2010, question 7, paper 1. So that's first principles. Next is by rule. Okay, by rule. Do you remember the by rule one? It was n to the power times x to the power of n minus 1. Okay, so from first principles, we've now moved on to the rule. So it says this is 2010 again, and it's 7a, so it's 2010, and it says differentiate with first principles. Differentiate or by rule. Now sometimes it doesn't even say it actually, it just says differentiate x squared minus 6x plus 1. So now the long way is by first principles, but we're going to use by rule. Okay, so it's y is equal to this. X squared minus 6x plus 1 dy dx. Now remember, dy dx is the same as also this. Okay, this function here, dash, not the inverse, not f minus 1, which is different than functions. So by rule, multiply the indice, multiply by the indice and reduce the indice by 1. Okay, 6 times x, 1, so it's 1 times 6 to the power of x, 1 minus 1, and the constant of the derivative of a constant is always equal to 0, so that becomes 2x minus 6, because x to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Okay, so it's minus 6 times 1, which is minus 6, and that is it. That's the answer. Dy dx 2x minus 6. Okay, so that's by rule. Right, 2010, and we have 7b again. So they've given you everything in this question really. This is why I've been quite good to pick it out. Well, every year they give you these rules anyway, you have to solve them out. Now do you remember this one? This one is the product rule. Okay, so the product rule is u times dv dx plus v times du dx. It doesn't matter which way you get them around because they're adding. Okay, so we pick this as u and we pick this as v. Okay, I'll bring that over. Right, so we follow the formula. So u, we'll take it out. U is equal to x squared minus 4 du dx is equal to 2x. Okay, now you know that by the rule. V is equal to 3x minus 1. dv dx is equal to 3. Okay, so now you've solved out your parts. Okay, so you've got u and v and you've took them out and you've got the derivative of them by rule. And you just put them back in following the formula. So it's u times dv dx, so u is x squared minus 4, brackets, times the derivative of v, which is 3, bracket, plus, I'm following this formula, v, 3x minus 1, times the derivative of u. Derivative of u is 2x. Okay, now you can multiply this all out. So you got 3x squared minus 12, 2x by 6x is plus 6x squared, 2x by minus 1 is minus 2x. Bring them together, 6x and 3x is 9x squared, minus 2x minus 12. Okay, it's quadratic. Can't be reduced. Okay, I'm looking at it here and it can't be reduced. Okay, so that's it by product rule. Great, so we're motoring along here. That out. And the next one is, let me see, this is 2012, and the rule we're using is the chain rule. Now the chain rule, remember the chain rule? They don't have a quantity, it's n times u per n minus 1 times du dx. Okay. Now a chain rule is when you have something to the power of. For example, this is 7b. So it says given that y is equal to x cubed minus 2x squared plus 4 all to the power of 5. Okay, so now you're looking at u is this, so u is equal to x cubed minus 2x squared plus 4. du dx is equal to 3x squared minus 4x plus 0. Okay, now the formula says n times the u, so this is u, as you know, we've just done it. Okay, so there it is here. So n times u, so it's 5 times, I'm following this rule, times the x cubed. It's much similar to the rule, but it's got an added advantage. 5 minus 1 is 4, times the derivative of the interior, okay, which is du dx. Okay, so du dx here is 3x squared minus 4x. Okay, now this is a huge, you cannot multiply this out, you would leave it at that. Okay, now it says find when the slope is equal to 1. Okay, find when x is equal to 1. Okay, when x is equal to 1. So now so you know that dy dx is the slope of this. Okay, so you put in 1, so you put in 5 times 1 cubed minus 2 times 1 squared plus 4 to the power of 4 times 3 times 1 squared. I'm going out over here, so I'm going to minus 4 times 1. Okay, so we put in, he says, so the question would be, find the slope of the line at the point x is equal to 1. So now that this formula is a cubic formula and we've reduced it down, so we find out when x is equal to 1, we can find out what's the slope at that point. Okay, so we put it in, and we put in 1 and we multiply them out. So we're given the point, we can find the slope because we've given the general formula for the slope of this equation. Okay, I'm repeating myself, but I know it's been done many times. So 1 minus 2, 1 squared is 1, minus 2 times 1 is minus 2, minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1, minus 1 plus 4 is 3. Okay, it's all multiplication. 1 squared is 1, 3 ones are 3, minus 4 is minus 1. Actually, that's here 3. This should be minus 4x, so it's plus 4x. Actually, this is plus. Why did I get minus? Okay, that was minus, that's correct, minus 4x. Right. So we put them in and we get minus 1 and we get, and it works out as 5 3s is 15 times minus 15. Okay. We'll just check that again. 1 squared plus 4, 2 times 1, yeah, 4. Plus 1 is 5, minus 2 is 3 times minus 15. Okay, so the slope of that line is minus 15. Okay, so that's the chain rule done. 2012. Okay, so now you see you're getting the hang of these. I'm not going to give you any questions because you go back and do the other questions. Now the next one is the quotient rule. Quotient, we'll put it up there because we'll do the next one. Quotient rule. And it's v times du dx, once you remember this, minus u times dv dx all over v squared. Okay? All you have to remember is the first part of this formula, and when you remember that there's a minus in it, you can continue with the rest. Now this is question 2012 again, and it's 8b, and it's got 5 plus x squared all over 2 minus x. Alright, so let me bring this back in. So this is the quotient rule I'm using here. And I'm going to solve this formula using the quotient rule. So I'm using this as u and this as v. Okay? Right, so let's have a look at the so u is equal to 5 plus x squared. Du dx is equal to 2x. Okay? U is equal to 2 minus x. Du dx is equal to minus 1. Okay? And you now you just put them into the formula. Use your formula here. V times du dx minus u times dv dx over v squared. Okay, so if this is y is equal to, or f of x, we'll change it to f of x. In this case it was f of x. So f of x is equal to, so f of x, the derivative is going to equal to, this is the derivative. So v, which is v, where's v? V is 2 minus x. Okay, that's v. 2 minus x. Okay, so it's 2 minus x times du dx is 2x minus u, which is minus 5 plus x squared. Okay, times dv dx, which is minus 1. dv dx. Should be dv dx all over v squared, which is 2 minus x all to be squared. So this is what it's all ending up to be, and it says find the derivative of it, which I've done, and the next part show that the derivative. Okay, show that this derivative slope f of x, which is the derivative, is equal to 0 at x is equal to minus 1. Okay, now what I do is I put minus 1 in for this formula everywhere I see x, and if the answer is equal to 0, that means it does have a slope at that point. So given the point, find the slope. So if you put minus 1 and the slope is equal to 0, it means that it's on the top or the bottom somewhere. Okay, it's at the maximum turning point. Right? Now those are all the questions and that I've explained here. Try and remember the rules and try and do as many questions as I've shown you the last day. Remembering that I've done all the rules. The last one really to do is a composite function of chain rule with another one, but I haven't seen them in the papers. But that doesn't mean they won't come up. Okay, so that's that. Thank you.